There are things in life that you don't need to know, like that all Fruit Loop colors taste the same, or that the apples you buy at the grocery store may be more than a year old. However, there are things you need to know that people are hiding from you. So in this video, I will share with you money rules that the rich don't want you to know, and that will make you look at money in a completely different way. Also, if you want to know Charlie Munger's How to Get Rich tips, the link is in the description. But before we start, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. Now let's get down to business. Rule number 1, the utility rule. When you think about having money, what comes to your mind? Do you think about buying a new car, putting food on the table, or buying a new outfit to go to the club this weekend? If any of these things come to mind, that's good, because it shows that you understand what money is. It's a tool with which we can acquire what we want or need. Unfortunately, however, the real benefit that money brings is often not fully understood. And this is where many people go wrong. For example, if you're making a pretty low income right now, chances are that you think more money will solve most of your problems. However, while money can solve money problems, it can also generate many others. For example, you are now earning twice as much as you used to. But you also work twice as much, which your partner doesn't like. And so you're facing relationship problems. In addition, because of your busy schedule, you haven't been to the gym in a month, and your usual tight pants have become too tight for you. This does not mean that you should not strive to earn more money. As long as you solve more problems than you create, you should gradually improve your overall quality of life. However, it is important to remember that there is not a single person on earth who does not have any problems. For example, if you are a millionaire, you may not worry about bills, but your family members may be constantly asking you for money. In addition, you may be worried about the thought that one day you may lose all your wealth that you have worked so hard for. So while you may strive to earn as much money as possible, never let yourself be fooled into thinking that with more money will come problems. Rule number 2, the time rule. Ask any rich person, and they will tell you that time is by far the most valuable resource we have. Unfortunately, most people don't understand how time affects wealth creation. And that's the reason most people will live their entire lives in a state of financial mediocrity. However, those who own time usually own money, and they do so by understanding 2 basic ideas that I want to share with you now. First, it is virtually impossible to trade time for money. This is in the case if you only trade your time. You and I only have a few hours in a day, and unless you're making an unthinkable amount of money per hour, it can be difficult to make a 6-figure income on your own. That's assuming you aim to make good money and get rich before you even have adult diapers. Another problem over time is that as we get older, we have less and less time to devote to making money. For example, when I was young and single, I could work 14 hours a day, no problem. However, when you have household and relationship responsibilities or have children, time is no longer a resource you can make the most of in order to get rich. That's why the richest people, when trying to build wealth, look beyond their 24 hours. If you look at the richest people on the Forbes list, they are all business owners who have used the time, capital, and experience of others. This is no coincidence. Does that mean you misunderstand the concept of time? Not at all. All this is to say that in order to become wealthy, you need to evaluate how your time affects your path to wealth. For example, it takes time to accumulate career experience that will allow you to climb the corporate ladder. It takes time to learn how to start up your first business and scale it to the revenue figures you want. And it definitely takes time to leverage the power of the stock market and compound interest to become rich. Just ask Warren Buffett once you wrap your head around how to capitalize on time, both your own and others. Building wealth becomes 10 times easier. One more thing, if you're enjoying the video so far, do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. Rule number 3, the rule of protection. Have you ever asked yourself why you work? Chances are it's not because you love listening to your coworkers telling you about their family drama or like working late in order to meet an unrealistic deadline. For most people, the answer is simple: you work to pay your bills and eventually retire. Sadly, while most people have the skill of accumulation in that they work for years to generate the income they need to meet these goals, They lack the skill of protection and extend their path to financial freedom more than they have to. So what does the skill of protection entail? It's fending off foes that want to take your money, and we face them every single day. It's the vacation your wife's been begging you to go on that will set you back 3 years of savings. It's the oversized home that your parents expect you to buy to uphold the family name. It's the $60,000 car that you hope will add some excitement back into your life. Each one of these are financial foes, separating you from your main goal of financial freedom. You see, anyone can go out and make money. What separates those who get and stay rich and those who struggle financially is how they manage the resources they have. This is important to internalize because just like you can't out-exercise a bad diet, you can't out-earn a spending problem. So the more protective you are of your money, the better. Rule number 4, the rule of minimal savings for the entirety of your life. You've been told to save your money. Your parents told you to save for a rainy day. The news tells you to stash your cash. And of course, banks are more than happy to take your money. However, should you actually be saving your money? Not always. You see, saving money isn't the path to wealth and prosperity that people make it out to be. In fact, when you save your money, the only person you're making rich is the bank. You may not know this, but banks generate a large amount of their income using your money. They take your deposits and lend it out to others at lucrative interest rates, while paying you a pittance in the process. Now, does this mean you should avoid saving money altogether? Of course not. It just means that you need to be more strategic in how much money you stash in the bank. For instance, I only put enough money in the bank to cover emergency expenses and my day-to-day bills. Being on the more conservative side, I like having a year's worth of expenses in the bank. But a good goal for anyone just starting out is to have anywhere from 3 to 6 months set aside. Then with the rest of my money, I use it to acquire real estate index funds and the like. This allows me to generate much greater returns than the bank would ever give me. And it's for this reason that you want to minimize how much you save while in turn maximizing how much you invest. Rule number 5, the rule of expectation. If you're like most people and you've probably told yourself that once you hit a certain salary or net worth figure, you'll be happy. I know that I've told myself this thousands of times, yet what I've come to realize over time, and you may have to, is that getting to our stated goal never fully satisfies us. It simply causes us to push the goalpost further. For me personally, I told myself that once I made $80,000 a year at my job, I would be happy. However, once I got there, I decided that making $100,000 would be better, then $120,000, and so on and so forth. So is this to say that you shouldn't set financial goals for yourself? Not at all. However, pushing off, being happy into the future is a big mistake, and sadly, most of us continue to make this mistake day after day. Now, why is this important to realize? Because even though hearing me say this is probably resonating with you, most of us don't really internalize this thought, and instead we keep pushing the goalposts further. And what I've come to learn over time is that when our current state and expected state don't align, this is when frustration and discontent arise. For instance, let's say that last year you got a brand new job making $75,000 a year. This is the income you knew you deserved. So once those paychecks came rolling in, you were more than content. However, after a year of great performance and the acquisition of more experience, you're still making $75,000. But believe you should be making $80,000. All of a sudden your expectation is that you should be making $5,000 more, yet you're not. And this is when resentment starts to set in. This $5,000 discrepancy is what's known as your expectation gap. And as long as it exists, you'll never be happy. For instance, there are people making $150,000 a year who are unhappy because they think they should be making $200,000. On the contrary, there are people making $50,000 a year who are elated because they never expected to make more than $40,000 a year. Therefore, to be financially content, you need to close your expectation gap. You can do this by striving for more or simply desiring less. Whichever you choose is up to you, but chances are you won't be happy until you do. Well, the rich understand that being wealthy isn't about how many things you own, but how little things own you.
Starting a
Put
small
another where your
business
level
can
of
be
wealth
frightening
is tied
and
to how
requires
cool you are.
plenty of careful
And while
planning.
it's great to have a
There are
fancy
many
car
small
or a
business
big home,
ideas which can be
when these items
beneficial
start
as well as
restricting your day-to-day
economical.
lifestyle,
The last
or
thing a
having
new
lived a certain
entrepreneur
way,
or new business
all of a
needs
sudden
is to
they
be
cut down
found
your
in a
level of
financial
wealth,
state
regardless
due
of
to
how
unnecessary
easily you can
spending.
afford them.
When starting a small
Therefore, to
business,
feel
the
richer,
key is to
regardless
remember
of
it
how
is
much you
small.
have,
And
your
initially,
goal
the
should be to
intention
rid
should be
yourself
to
of
limit
financial
spending
attachment.
until a profit
Clear
is
off your
made.
student and credit
So,
card debts.
let's get
Aim
started
to
with
be
top
mortgage
20
free.
best
And
small
when you
business
achieve these
ideas
goals,
for beginners.
You'll feel much richer than you presently
1.
are. Well done.
Yoga Center.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. With that being said, have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next one.